Okay, so I want us to think about two things. One is what weight loss surgery's given us, and what hasn't weight loss surgery given us that perhaps we thought it was.
Well, for me, it gave me confidence,
Yep.
self-confidence, and I felt like I mattered in a conversation. I didn't feel as if I had to hide being big. I didn't, I felt like I could have my say. I earned that right to have my say.
It gave me the ability to just look in the mirror and not say, what a big fat slob, just something that simple.
Yeah.
It's given me the ability to go out and try new things that I've always wanted to do. I guess it's that confident thing to, run around and chase the kids and do that, and it's so meaningful for me to be an active part of their lives.
So I think in contrast, I would say that what it hasn't given me that I thought it would is confidence. So I just assumed that if I lost weight then I'd be really confident, and that didn't happen.
I think for me the biggest thing surgery's given me is actually normality. I feel normal. I can go out and eat and celebrate and not feel like I'm being judged or watched. And that's improved my mood. And I was in my head I was like, oh, they're thinking, I'm so fat and, like gross and all sorts. Yeah. I don't really get that anymore.
I wouldn't have had my career if I hadn't have had the surgery.
Wow.
And I just know it would never have happened. So I had the career I always wanted. It wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have done it.
So I had really improved health outcomes, but also one of the things that I didn't expect was in the corporate world being raised in status. I'd always had enough knowledge to be given some respect, but it just took it up another layer, which was very unexpected and a bit hard to deal with really. Beforehand there was always a bit of doubt. Didn't have to prove myself, so I had to prove myself, whereas after I lost weight I didn't have to prove myself. It was just given to me.
And mine went backwards, so when I was younger and fitter and more attractive, I was taken far more seriously by my male management level counterparts, and that started dropping off, and I call it I lost my mojo. But now the same people that I've dealt with in my business 3 years ago take me completely seriously now, whereas they didn't before. And a lot of that's how I feel about myself, and I know I probably portray that differently now. But it's definitely a shift. I'm exactly, not exactly, I'm the same person in my business as I was before, and I still deal with the same people, but they treat me differently.
Well, I was knocking on the door of diabetes, and that really scared.
My thing that weight loss surgery has given me is that I have got back my life of athleticism. That was my, I was a regional representative of sport. I feel like I have got that back. I've got that ability back. I can physically do anything. It's just the mental stuff that I have to work on to put myself there to do it.
I think it's given me the opportunity to join in with my family, which I wasn't doing, and I was pretty much sitting on the sidelines watching everybody else have the fun.
I found it wasn't what I thought it would be. I thought it would be, as terrible as this sounds, a quick fix, but it's not. It's not.
I know for me that if it wasn't for the retreat, I'm scared to think where I would be if it wasn't for this place.
Coming to the retreat's definitely been a big wake-up call, that's for sure though. Just because, like you said, it's most of it's not even about the food, and coming here it's made me realise some underlying reasons to why I gained the weight, and that I need to fix those first.
What hasn't it given us? And I don't know, I just assumed that I was going to have this amazing positive mindset, and all of that trauma of being morbidly obese was just going to disappear.
It hasn't taken away all my bad habits. You know, they didn't go away with the surgery. You know, you have to work on relearning how to redo things and not slip back into them, and keeping focused and stuff like that. Surgery doesn't take those initial needs or cravings and wants away.
The hot body that you see on TV.
Those before and after pics.
Yes, after much surgery, and certainly doesn't give you that.
So I've had 2 surgeries, and my first surgery was a gastric band, and what I'd been hoping for was that not to be just given the tool, but actually to be taught properly how to use the tool, and to look at what was going on behind that, and that never happened. So in terms of the mechanical part of it all happened, but the mental part didn't happen. And so I've been appreciative of the second operation that I had, that actually has happened, and I can make those changes for myself. And I think to think that it's just a mechanical solution is just so far out of the ballpark. Yeah. It's just not real.
I think it's not only naive, but it's a bit arrogant of a surgeon to think that they're going to fix us, our weight loss, the stuff that's going on for us with the surgery.
And even though I didn't lose as much having a band, it stopped me, and it has stopped me getting any bigger.
It didn't give me an affinity with exercise.
I thought the honeymoon would last until the day I died. And that's really silly, but I did. That first year was just heaven.
I found that the surgery did not take away my ability to snack emotionally, and so I struggle with it now, and I'm getting so many calories with snacking, and I know it, and I need to get back on track. Yeah, and if I didn't have retreat and all our post-op appointments, I would have just stopped losing very, very quickly and not been able to maintain.
And just with the post-op appointments too, I would sort of dread it a bit too, in the sense that I'll get judged if I wasn't where they wanted me to be.
That was the beginning of a solution, but it's only 10%. We've still got to travel that 90% afterwards by ourselves, gaining knowledge wherever we can, if there's no support around.
And I talked to hundreds of weight loss surgery patients in the space of a month, and I am shocked at the amount of people in those hundreds who have never been offered any support by their surgeon or their team, don't understand what they're supposed to eat, don't understand that it's a mental game. They think it's all about, I've had the surgery, now I can eat what I want, and I'm just going to get to a number, and then everything will be fine.
Explained very carefully about alcohol addiction and transfer, and I just thought, I didn't drink at all before surgery. I'd have never drink, maybe once a year or something, like if there was a party, but I didn't drink at all. And so, there's no way that would happen to me. Thank you, yes, I understand that's a problem for some, but it's not going to apply to me because I didn't drink at all. And then
And then something changed?
Yeah. So
what changed?
Then you hit problems, and I guess you can't turn to food like you could. And so start with drinking some wine, and then before you know it, you're drinking a lot of wine.
It sounds like surgery doesn't address the problem. It's the head work that does. So where does that leave the surgeons? So what did the surgery give us that during the program first wouldn't it give us? Did it give us a kickstart? Is that what it was about? Did it give us the confidence to make the changes? Yeah, I must admit, after my first surgery, the fact that I didn't feel hungry was such a major relief to not be thinking about food all the time.
What I've learnt from our team is that I was going to be given a window of time to change my habits, and that's what I've done. Because it was not, here's the surgery and now get on with it. It was, here's the surgery and now the work starts. Now you've got to get into the better habits. You've got to work on the reasons why you do these things and why you are numbing with food, or why, you know. And that's why I keep coming back to retreat, because those circumstances continue to challenge me, and I know that every single time I go through the same stuff, I get something different out of it every time. Something else sticks in my brain and I go, oh, right, I get it now. And we're talking 2 years down and 4 retreats later, it's still, oh yeah, that makes sense.
I think what's worrying is that it's really easy to regain if you don't keep your finger on the pulse. And so if you don't get onto it soon enough, you know, the number jumps up so quickly. So if you stop looking, it can happen very quickly.
I'm really appreciative of the package of care I've received. So the pre-op information, so I felt sort of loaded me with, okay, this is what I'm preparing myself for. There's enough info in here to keep me going. And, you know, with that weight loss part pre-op that you had to do, and then the meeting with all the support team that was around us, so the dietitian, the psychologist, the physio,
Yes.
and then Carol as a nurse and stuff like that. You know, that I was like, I'm going through this, I've got all the support team around me, and then that going through post operation and stuff like that, and the care's still there, and it's the follow-ups and then there's the workshops as well, that, you know, when you're starting to think, little things starting to slip in, attending a workshop and being like, oh, that's right, yes, it's keeping me focused, it's helping me reevaluate where I am and where I want to be.
Yeah, I felt that I never ever went through this alone. And I had a son in Australia who has had the same operation, and they just waved him goodbye at the door.